Right guys, well good morning, good afternoon, maybe good evening, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome to lesson 6. So this is about better understanding networks, okay? Right, well let's get started. So here. So what is a computer network and why are they important? Okay, so that's our leading question. So I want you to pause the video, I want you to have a think about the question, maybe ask Google if you need some help. Okay, so pause the video, come back when you're ready and I'll give you my answers, let's say. Right, so what is a computer network? Well, a computer network is a mechanism for connecting many computers together. Yeah, so if we think about our university here, we have these networks, AGU and AGU student, AGU guest. So these are networks that students can connect to, and when you've connected to a network, you can share resources, yeah, you can share files, you can access other people's devices, and so on, yeah. So why are they important? Well, they're important because they make lives easier, generally, yes. We don't have to have one printer each. We can just have one printer and we all connect to it. We can all print to it whenever we need to. Yeah, so they save time, they save us money, they save us convenience. Yeah? So let's head over to the booklet. So have a look at this very short text here about networks, and decide which vocabulary is the best fit, the best match, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 8 pieces of vocab, 8 spaces. Pause the video and come back, and we will check the answers together, okay? So LAN is pronounced LAN and stands for local area network. In a typical LAN, there is a central network server, which supports a number of workstations. To be used as network workstations, each network needs to have a NIC, network interface card, installed. Users have to log on to the network server. Pages of information that can be viewed within a LAN are called an intranet. A number of LANs connected to each other via satellite or other form of communication are called a wide area network. Yeah? And we can see we've got a graphic here. This is a local area network, and this is a wide area network. So many local area networks connected together. We can either connect, let me get rid of that. We can either connect to a local area network using a network interface card, using a cable, or we can connect over Wi-Fi, and it's much more common nowadays to connect over Wi-Fi. It's much more secure to connect via a cable, yeah. But Wi-Fi is increasingly popular. So that's some basic information then about a local area network, about a wide area network. We can think of the internet as a very wide area network. It's a collection of many smaller networks. Yeah? Local area networks like we have here. AGUN is a local area network. AGU guest, AGU student, these are all local area networks. If you go to a company, the company will have a local area network. Yeah, that their users access and that nobody from outside can access. Yeah. So we're going to use these pictures, we're going to use this information, and we're going to try to work out what are some advantages, what are some disadvantages of local area networks and of wide area networks. We're going to think about the cost. We're going to think about the expertise, we're going to think about the hardware, the software, we're going to think about security. Okay, so have a think, pause the video, and come back when you're ready to check your answers with me, and I'll give you what I think are my answers. Okay. Okay, so here are some answers then. So local area networks are advantages. So we can share hardware. Yeah, so we don't need a printer each. We don't need not just a printer each. We can all access the same server. Allows company to work together. Yeah. Software can be designed. So each department uses the same software. Okay, so this is the same point. Workstations do not have valuable data. So with a local area network, it's quite common that workstations don't actually hold much data. All of the data is on the central server, and then you just need to back up that one central server. You don't have to back up dozens or hundreds or maybe thousands of individual workstations. Yeah. So workstations you can think of as individual PCs that a person uses at work. Maybe they have their personal photos on there, but to a company, that's not really important. The company isn't going to back that up. All work data we can store on our central server here, and we can just back up that nice and easily. Yeah. So disadvantages of a local area network, well, yes, it can be expensive to set up. Hardware costs a lot of money. Expertise to set them up costs a lot of money. Yeah, it requires experts to maintain. Maybe in a small local area network, it just requires one expert or maybe two, but still, they're quite expensive. Yeah. No network, no business. Yeah, if your network goes down, which it does sometimes, even here at Aggie it goes down, then we can't really do a great deal. Yeah, so no network, no business. And just like this is an advantage, you have all of your data in the same place, it's also a disadvantage. You have all of your data in the same place. So if your server gets stolen or blows up, or if there's a water leak in your server room and your server gets destroyed, then you've got some big problems. Yeah, so yes, it's an advantage having all of your data on the server. It's also a disadvantage. Wide area network advantages. So we can think of the internet. Yeah, instead of wide area network, let's just say the internet. So we can access a wide range of information. Yeah, just like on the internet, can communicate with people very easily and can reduce costs. Yeah, so instead of everyone hosting the same information, we just need to host it once and then everyone can access that information. Sharing resources over a wide area network is not quite the advantage as it is sharing over a local area network. We can't really share printers over a wide area network. I mean, we can. The technology allows us, but the fact that I can print to a printer in California doesn't help me because I'm not in California. Yeah, so sharing resources is an advantage of local area network. Sharing resources like printers is less of an advantage when it comes to things like wide area networks. Wide area networks can be slow. They can be very expensive to set up, many experts to maintain them, many experts to set them up, and can be very difficult and very expensive to secure. And of course, the more data you keep on your server, the more important that it is secure. Yeah. Okay, so some advantages, some disadvantages there of local and wide area networks. Well, let's move on. So when we talk about wide area network, we can think about the internet. Well, let's read more about the internet and specifically about the World Wide Web. Read these two paragraphs. You've got a choice of words. Okay, so underline or highlight or something. Which word do you think is the best fit here? Okay, go. When you're ready to check, resume the video and we'll check together. So, some people think that the internet and the web are the same thing. In fact, they're very different. The internet is simply called the net, is a global network of interconnected computers. These computers communicate with each other. This is difficult. Communicate with each other over existing networks. There's not a big difference here. Over or through networks, not a big difference. This is better, but this, I wouldn't say this is wrong. Principally with the telephone system. The World Wide Web, usually just known as the web, is the billions of web pages that are stored on large computers called web servers. To access the web, you need a computer and a modem. Nowadays, we don't need a modem. Yeah, about 10, 15, 20 years ago, we needed this individual device. Now we might have a network hub. At home, you've probably got a network router. Yeah, and the router does the same job as a modem. You then connect to an internet service provider. You connect to news groups and discussion forums. Yeah? You could say that the internet is a system of roads. Okay, nothing too difficult there, I think. Okay? And this is also quite straightforward. So, how to visit a web page. Which of these do we do first? Which do we do second, and third, and fourth, and so on? Okay, so pause the video and resume when you're ready to check. So what do we do first? We connect to the internet. Then we launch our browser. Enter a web address. Wait a few seconds for the page to download. View the page. Close down your browser and disconnect from the internet. That makes sense. Yeah? A lot of this connecting to the internet and disconnecting from the internet happens automatically when you turn your computer on nowadays. Yeah, so these are not real steps. 20 years ago, you had to connect separately, but yes, nowadays, if you turn your computer on, you connect to your network, to your internet at the same time. Right, some useful vocab here. You might have, I'm sure that you know these. But maybe you don't know what these are called. Okay, so try to match the vocab with the example. Pause the video, come back, and we'll check together. So the full website address is this: http://www.acblack.co.uk. The domain name is this bit, acblack.co.uk. The protocol here, http://. The type of site, .co.uk, and the country code, .uk. Yeah. So some useful vocabulary here that is worth becoming familiar with. Right, okay, well, let's move on. So let's listen to the audio and let's label the image. So, something, number 2. Okay, well, I think we can guess number 2. And number 3, we can probably have a guess at number 3. I think the answer to number 3 we can even find here. Number 4, maybe we know that. Number 5 and number 6. Okay, so let's listen to the audio and let's label the diagram.
Let's begin by talking about small networks, which are called local area networks. Let's begin by talking about small networks, which are called local area networks, or LANs. These are groups of computers within a small physical area, like a home or an office building. In this diagram, we see a mixed wired and wireless LAN, a typical solution for small businesses that already have a wired LAN and decide to expand it with wireless technologies to accommodate new needs. In the existing fixed wired LAN, the central computer is a file server with a large hard drive used to store common files and application programs. The computers, acting as clients, are connected to the file server and to a printer via Ethernet cables. In the wireless part of the network, several devices, including desktops, laptops, PDAs, and a gaming console, are connected to each other without cables. This part is controlled by a wireless access point, also called a wireless router. This access point is like a base station that transmits and receives radio frequencies for wireless-enabled devices. Each device that operates over the network is equipped with a wireless card or adapter. Many wireless LANs use Wi-Fi or wireless technology that uses radio waves to enable communication between devices in a limited area. This gives users flexibility and mobility. Another popular technology is Bluetooth, used for short distances. The whole network is linked to the Internet via broadband modem. This modem is plugged into a router or hub, which splits the Internet connection into parts and allows all users to access email and web resources. With appropriate networking software, users on the wireless LAN can share files and the printer located on the wired LAN. Unit 28, Task 1.
Okay. Okay, if you need to listen again, rewind this video and listen again. Okay. When you're ready to check, we will check together. Not very difficult, I think that. Okay, so you've got this tape script in your answer booklet. So a mixed wired and wireless LAN. Number 2 is a file server. Number 3, Ethernet cables. Number 4, 2 answers here, wireless access point or wireless router. Yeah, we've got 2 answers there. Number 6, now we hear the answer to number 6 before we hear the answer to number 5. Okay, so this is a bit tricky. Yeah. So, connected to the Internet via a broadband modem, and into the broadband modem, this modem is plugged into a router or a hub. Okay, so number 5 is a router or a hub, and number 6 is a broadband modem. Yeah. Now, nowadays, these 2 devices have been merged into one. Yeah, we don't regularly have separate modem and separate router or hub. In your home, you probably just have, actually these 3 devices really have all been merged into one. Yeah, the router or the hub provides wireless access, and it connects to the internet. So nowadays, these 3 devices, have been merged into one. You probably just have a device that looks like this in your home, and this does the job of the wireless access point, the broadband modem, and the router or the hub. Yeah. Right. Okay, well, last task. Use your existing knowledge. Okay, so you won't find these answers. You won't find these answers in the lesson 6 material. Use your existing knowledge. Can you complete these sentences? Yeah. So read the sentences, think about them, and try to guess the word. Put your answers into here. So this gives you a clue. So the answer to number 1 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is just 8 letters. Yeah. And when you put all of the answers in, you get a secret word here. Yeah. So even though you're using existing knowledge to try to complete these sentences, some help is given here, and this secret word. If this doesn't read like a word, then you need to check some of your answers. Okay, so quite interesting. This, try it. Pause the video, and when you come back, I'll give you the answers. Okay. Right, okay, so you have to enter a username and a password. A something is hardware that protects, I think that's a firewall. A person, a hacker. And number 4, viruses. So plural, V-I-R-U-S-E-S, viruses. You can download, okay, so free of charge, freeware. Encoding is known as encryption. This company uses decryption. Most is designed to obtain personal information, so is that, I think that's spyware. Most spyware. Let's check our answers. Yeah, so here we go, yeah. So password, firewall, hacker, viruses, freeware, encryption, decryption, spyware, and the secret word is security. And that, I think, brings us to the end of lesson 6. Lesson 7, quite interesting lesson 7. Very, 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 very useful. TCP/IP is a very, very useful protocol. Very widely used, the most widely used protocol. Yeah, so it is important that we get our head around TCP/IP. And before we do that, this lesson 6 helps us get a better understanding, I think, of networks. Right, guys. Well, that's all from me. If you have any questions or any comments, use the comment section of this video here on YouTube to ask a question or to leave a comment, and I will reply to you here. All right, guys, I'll see you next time for lesson 7.